Thank you for staying with us. It appears that efforts to tame the activities of bandits is not yielding the desired result as they continue to attack communities and cause mayhem. Just days ago, more than 40 locals were killed after gunmen suspected to be bandits attacked Zurak community in the Wase local government area of Plateau State. Property, including houses, were also razed by the attackers. The invasion was said to have started Monday evening. An eyewitness who confirmed the situation said the attackers carrying sophisticated weapons entered the community using motorcycles. This latest attack is coming barely a few weeks after suspected bandits from the same local government surrendered 7 AK-47 rifles to the state government. Joining us via Zoom to discuss this latest incident and other issues regarding security on the plateau is security expert Melvin Eje. Melvin, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, TVC.
Now, this is quite a worrisome development because this is coming on the heels of the January attack that we saw left a number of persons, as reports have it, about 300 of them were victims of that attacks, property also destroyed. In the video we showed earlier, we see in this current attack, women running with their children behind them. What really is going on in Plateau State? Why is it so difficult to tame this matter of attacks?
Well, it is so difficult because of the initial deteriorating security situation in the country, which is not peculiar to Plateau State. However, but the situation in Plateau is getting better by the day. In that very community was a local government, some bandits surrendered some weeks ago, where they gave up their arms, where they pledged not to go back to the banditry again. What we have in Wase recently, where people were killed, not 40, because the figures we have are not 40, we have about 19 people who were killed. It's a fleeing bandits who were under fire from joint operation from security agencies. It's not normal. It's not unusual. They were fleeing for safety. And that's why they took their vengeance to a harmless community to attack them. It's a fleeing bandits who were actually running from the major onslaught engaged by the Nigerian military and the security agencies to rid the forest of Wase of these bandits. So I commend the military, I commend all the security agencies for carrying out this operation. There's an ongoing clearance operation in that general area, ranging from we have another operation in Niger, we have one in Nasarawa. And there is a major one going on the forest of Plateau, and that's where you see. It's not like they just attack people; they were fleeing bandits. And if you see the figures we have, about 7 of the bandits were neutralized. 7 of them were neutralized. So I think we are making progress. And very soon the issue of banditry will be thrown on the past in Plateau State and even Nigeria.
You say very soon the issue of banditry will be a thing of the past. But this optimism has been shared over time by security experts and even by the people, and over the years we have still seen this situation happen. It's a huge source of worry, and from what we've seen in the video, you see women and children moving to not even having a destination as it is. What more do you think can security agencies put in place? What more can we do to ensure that this is nipped in the bud totally?
The security issues are very complex. They are not issues to just sit and discuss because they are nitty-gritty that we can come to the air to discuss. As it stands today, like if you check critically the security architecture of Nigeria, you would have understand that the issues are going down, the pressures are going down. The Northeast have been stabilized greatly, Northwest is stabilizing by the day. The number of people they kill every day have reduced drastically. If you are fair to this government, if you are fair to security agencies, a lot of progress have been made. It's just that we are not getting to where want to be, or have since left where we used to be in terms of this banditry and insecurity. I sympathize with the people of Plateau State. I sympathize with the people of Bandits State because as I speak to you now, my federal constituency, Apa local government, is under siege. As I yesterday night, several communities were attacked in Apa local government. So it's not peculiar to Plateau State. It's a Nigerian thing, and this is a fallout of the bad government we used to have from the previous administration. We cannot forget to talk about it. Really, frankly speaking, the former government only paid lip service to the issue of insecurity, and that's what we're having now. President Ashwaju inherited the very bad security apparatus in the country. Very bad security administration in the country. He inherited a very bad investment in security. They only paid lip service to it. So It's just a matter of time. These issues will fade away naturally. The current service chiefs are not playing lip service with the issue of security. They are doing their best to ensure that Nigeria is safe. I think that's what they are doing with a lot of commitment. So I'm expecting that we're going to see a lot of improvement in the security of the country. It is getting better. As bad as it may look on the media, it's getting better. Our communities are getting safe by within.
Well, I cannot imagine, how bad it is in that community, the level of fear in that community, waking up every day and not knowing what's going to happen next. But then we have the Katsina governor, blaming the defense headquarters of their involvement in terrorism. In what way can we address this holistically? Because it has gotten to a point where different stakeholders that should take part in ensuring the success of this process are now apportioning blames.
I think that's the problem we have in Nigeria, where people throw blame to security agencies without minding what they are supposed to do. Whether we like it or not, the politicians are the major problem, not the security agencies. We must call it spade a spade. The lack of political will, the involvement of some of our political actors are the reason why this conflict has continued to linger and was called a spade a spade. It's out of place for the Katsina State governor to be blamed the military people. Yes, we may have some deviants, we may have some bad things among the military, but I see the military doing so much for this country to keep us safe together. So what I expect from the Katsina State governor is to call out the names of the people who think they are conspiring. It's a very senior ranking officer as long as the position is concerned. Why don't they approach some of the service chiefs and give this credible information instead of coming to media to grandstand against the Nigerian military? The Nigerian military are doing a lot to keep our country safe. And if we take the military out of this country, I'm sure we will not have a country tomorrow. So coming out to blame the military on a daily basis instead of doing what they are supposed to do, what has it done to support the military in operation in the Northwest? What has it done to support the military operation in his own domain? What has it also done to support the military in terms of this operation? The intelligence agency in those communities, like the local vigilante, how well is it funding them to give the military information? Can the military be everywhere? The question is no. Can it be in every compound in Katsina State? The answer is no. So I think instead of coming to the public to grandstand when they have failed, it's very, 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 very sad. They should do their work. They must be strong enough to call a spade a spade. Some of these politicians are the major problem we have in this country. And I think it's high time we speak truth to power.
Interesting. Now, you talked about the fact that these are fleeing bandits and that they were passing through that locality or community. That was why this incident happened, so to speak. But talk to us about the presence, government presence in that locality that made them so vulnerable, rather, to the activities of these bandits.
Very sad. The government presence in that community is very bad because the terrain is bad. They don't have electricity. There's no road. In fact, assessing this Zurak community in Bashar district is actually a nightmare. You can't access there even with any kind of vehicle except motorcycle. Even the motorbike, you need a desert motorbike to be able to access that community. So the terrain is so bad. The previous government in Plateau State, of course, did not do well. I'm going to be very frank. I'm an AP citizen, and I'm saying it on national television. The previous government did not do very bad. But we hope and pray that the pace that this current governor Muswan is going, they will get to that community. The community is actually grossly underdeveloped. In fact, they are cut off from life. They are cut off from amenities. They are cut off from anything that gives life to the people. So I think that's one of the issues they have. They live in the midst of nowhere, no access road, no water, no electricity. So they coming to get attacked from this bandit will further compound their lives. So I think government need to, from their part, begin to develop our community. That's one of the major issues the security agencies have when trying to respond to conflict. People often just sit down and blame them without looking at the nitty-gritty. There are instances where communities are attacked, you can't even access this community. You need to go and turn around another community for over 3 hours on the motorbike. Before you go there, these assailants would have left the community. They are not going to wait for you. Once they are prepared for attack, they come in, carry out the guerrilla attacks, and just move out from this community. So that's one of the major issues our politicians need to do to aid security operations in our country. Our terrains are bad. There are no lights. So these are the issues we have, and our politicians must wake up to begin to address this issue of insecurity sincerely instead of blaming our security agencies.
So it means that we also need to begin to look at the purchase of motorcycles for our security agencies to be able to respond to these kinds of issues.
In this asymmetric welfare, motorcycle operation is the best operation for our security agencies. The vehicle is getting obsolete because of our terrains. Our terrains are not developed yet. Sometimes even Hilux, as powerful as Hilux is, can access from communities in 4 or 5 hours. They will need to go around mountains, go around very hilly ground to be able to access this community. And before them, these artisans would have left. They won't wait for them. So I think we need to begin to invest in high-power desert motorcycles for the military operations and security agency operations in general. State governments must be very deliberate about security, because without security, you can't carry out any development instead of playing lip service to the issue of security. Come to Benin. What's happening in Benin now is very appalling. The issue of what's happening in Agatu and apart speaking area of Benin, every day people are being killed and it's not being reported. It is very sad in that general area. The soldiers are not enough. They can't really do magic. Their numbers are very small. Yes, we have some deployment recently from the operation White Stroke in that general area, and we hope that they will respond to this challenge as they are. But the killings are going on in Benue. People are being killed. As I speak to you, yesterday night, a cousin of mine was shot down in my community in Apa local government. So this is something that happens on a daily basis. However, we keep on blaming security agencies instead of coming together. Where is the place of the local government chairman? Where is the place of the House of Reps? Where is the place of the Senate? Where is the place of the governor? For the Benue State government, some stakeholders who to join under the governor to get out this issue of insecurity are playing politics rather than come together to sit down together and address these issues. But I think the Plateau State government is getting it right in terms of insecurity, because it's working closely with the security agencies. So I'm urging every stakeholder to join hands to begin to work with our state actors.
If you're saying that politicians are playing politics, how much of politics will one have to play, seeing the lives of people die every day because of banditry and insecurity in different areas, like you have mentioned in Apa local government in Benue State, where someone died recently, was killed by bandits. If you're saying that politicians are using this to play politics, is it worth the blood of anybody?
It is not worth the blood of anybody, but some politicians are so selfish that they don't care what happened to the life of human being. All they are interested in is election. All they are interested in is how to get into office. But the people you are governing, the people you are representing, need to be alive first before you talk about the politics of 2027. So I think the first thing that politicians ought to do is to address clearly the issue of insecurity. We must be deliberate about it. We must go to every corner, every nook and cranny of this country to get this issue solved. Because until this matter is solved, until we have a peaceful community, you can't even play politics. Until even you, who is playing politics today, may not be safe tomorrow. So I think I'm urging our politicians to look at this issue of insecurity squarely. I commend the Senate for calling for formal settlement summit. My prayer is that it should be all-encompassing. It should be devoid of political sentiment. They must go all out and pursue this. We are tired of this conflict. Blaming the service chief, blaming the security agency won't take us anywhere, because they are doing their best. How many security men do we have in this country? Less than 3 million security men, policing over 200 and something million people. It's not realistic. It's not possible. It's not going to work. Now, governments are supposed to strengthen the vigilante system in our communities. I commend the Ministry governor for taking a bold step for trying to establish a new vigilante security outfit. These are the people that will give ground intelligence to our security agency to enable them to strike. We have a case in our hand right now. I'm blaming the president, blaming the service chiefs and security who won't take us anywhere. It should be a collaborative effort. We must come together to solve this problem. This problem has been there before the coming of the administration, and it cannot solve it overnight. This is one fact we need to get very straight.
Well, you've commended the security agencies. You said they've done their best as regards this. But then we still have to hold parties responsible for this to account. You are a security expert. How should we address this, in a holistic manner? What are the factors that you believe are enabling these attacks? And how should it be addressed immediately so we don't have a repeat of this?
The major factor that enabling this attack, one, is the lack of political will, like I told you. Sometimes security agencies will go all out to arrest the bandits, arrest the terrorists. When they bring them to quick justice, a call from high quarter will come to release them, putting the lives of the people who arrest them in danger. That's number one. Then we have bad terrorists in our community. Government at all levels must begin to develop their community. The security agencies will have free access to be able to respond to crisis. Number three, we have to look at the economic issue. There are no issue, there's no empowerment. The young people are so hungry, the young people are so broke, and they need to be empowered, they need to get to job. That's another factor. Another factor, again, militating against security, is the issue of logistics. Our security agents don't have enough logistics. Imagine we don't have enough drones, we don't have enough cameras in our communities. some of the places they need to assess. If we have cameras covering some of these places, if we have these high caliber drones, they can police it from any location. They don't need to be there. We are talking about manpower today because we have not started using technology in our security apparatus much. It is the coming of Ashiwaju that we have some investment in technology. But I think that the process is going on very soon. That's why I'm very optimistic that this country will get it better very soon, because there are a lot of investment in terms of technology already that are being put in place to ensure that the country is safe going forward. But it's not going to be magic. We have to be a little bit patient with them. So we need to address some of the issues. Our communities are porous. There are no deliberate efforts to give local intelligence. There are no deliberate efforts to develop this community. So when you have an incident in a community where you cannot respond within 2-3 hours, of course people have been killed before you get there. So state government, local government, federal government, but at all levels must begin to put up infrastructures in our community. Sometimes the darkness in our villages alone, we cannot respond to these attacks at night. They are human beings, the soldiers, the police, the DSS are also human beings. They have families, they are uncles, they are aunties. They also have family to cater for. So they won't just risk their life like that because they want to go and secure the community. So government at all levels needs to do their part, needs to play their part to ensure that we have a better country.
Now, I want to take you back to the matter of politics that you raised earlier, where you said politicians, state governments are seemingly playing politics with this issue. Remember that the current administration is pushing for state police. Do you think that this is why some persons are saying that states shouldn't be saddled with the responsibility of handling matters of security because of the politics we see at play?
Why the betting of the idea of state police is very commendable and should be encouraged, but I'm afraid for the political class we have today in the country. As proud as I am of our governors, some of them will misuse the state police. They are going to turn it to their personal touts. They are going to turn them to their personal apparatus where they will use to win political opponents. This may sound weird, but it is true from our rating as security experts. Now, come to the issue of logistics and issue of providing training for this state police. Where is the money going to come from the states? States are already underfunded. Some agencies in the state cannot even pay salaries. Some agencies cannot even proud of vehicles. So where is the money to fund this state police going to come from?
But they are getting higher allocation from the federal government as we speak.
That would be enough, because an effective police system needs APC, they need tanks, they need a lot of ammunition and AK-47. Where is the money going to come from? The cost of AK-47, of 200 AK-47, I'm sure it's more than some allocation. So where is the money going to come from? We don't have any independence, so except the federal government doesn't say about that, or the state themselves come together to talk about the issue of funding and the issue of command and control of this security of state police. Otherwise, I'm still skeptical about state police. It's a good idea, it's a noble idea, but at the current time, at the moment, it cannot work in Nigeria. We need to put up some things in place before we can begin to talk about the issue of state police. Yes, it's commendable. I think what we should do basically, what we should do now, is to use civil defense. Let's get them to understand their role. We have a lot of them who are idle, we have a lot of them who are not working. Civil defense people must be encouraged to begin to take the place of district police and community vigilantes. A lot of them are not idle. They go to office in the morning and just come back in the evening. So we need to engage them to begin to work. Governors must take advantage of civil defense in their state. Let's begin to engage them. They are federal government agencies, but they are underused. So let's get them properly to begin to do their work.
But if you are to get civil defense, what would then now be the place of local vigilantes in trying to help
bridge the
gap between the police and the community?
It would be an additional advantage if we get civil defense and the local vigilante together to work together. If we get the civil defense to come on board, if we get them to be properly active, and the vigilante also do their work, we'll have a robust security system in the local government. Now, the number one point of call for the security apparatus in the country should be the local vigilante, because they understand their communities very well, and they know every nook and cranny of their community. They know everybody. They know any visitor that comes into their community. That first should be encouraged by state government and local government at all levels. Now, coming to get the issue of civil defense on board, civil defense also provides a second front for protecting the community. We can get it done. It's not a rocket science. So instead of waking up on sleep and just blaming Nigerian army, blaming Nigerian police, government at all levels, politicians who are holding public office should be felt accountable to the people by doing what they ought to do. Once they do what they are supposed to do, my dear, we will have a safer country. Let's not blame security agencies. Let's not blame the federal government first. What are we doing at our local level? What are we doing to strengthen the local security architecture of our local government?
So we also have a problem of accountability, responsibility, you know. Who takes responsibility for these attacks? These attacks come and they go, and the military and whoever is in charge apologizes. Isn't it time we, you know, try to hold someone accountable, especially in situations like this?
Well, the Nigerian Constitution put the welfare and security of the country on the doorstep of government, so the buck stop on the table of the government. When I mean government, it's government at all levels, from the local government, state government, federal government, and the security apparatus. They take the buck stop on their decks, and I think that's the truth about it. But in segmenting this blame, we should hold our politicians accountable. Our politicians must provide amenities, they must provide logistic support for our security agencies, so that our security agencies can be effective. Like I said, in the practical terms, so the soldiers can be everywhere. The armed forces can be everywhere. The police can be everywhere. We don't have that strength. Now, we don't have the technology to be able to reduce some of these tags. So we're expecting this thing forever. But like graciously, the president gave some approval for communication gadget. He gave some approval for technology to drive this. And I think the service chiefs are on the floor again. They're on the way to purchase the item. We'll get results very soon.
Right, let's talk about a very big issue with regards to insecurity, and that's the matter of trust. Do you think that these kind of attacks will give people that, or give people that trust, that level of trust to the government, talking about the people trusting the government to actually address their issues? Because this has been happening over time, and government keeps talking about how they are addressing it, especially we are using Plateau State, for instance, as an example, for a state where we are not seeing government presence. How can these people trust the government to really resolve their issues? Wouldn't they be tending towards these people, the bandits, and every other person that government is trying to, you know, curb their activities as we speak?
Well, that is why you see people resorting to self-help, because people are actually giving up on the government. But I think they should be patient. The issue of Plateau, I think something is being done on the Plateau. I can say this for free, that the people in Plateau are very serious. I don't know where they came from heaven, but the governor is very deliberate about the issue of security. The commander of Operation Safe Haven, Major General A. Abakar, the commissioner of police, the director of DSS, I think they are very special people on the Plateau. They are doing so much. If they are not doing a lot, you will have been hearing casualty figure of more than 100 on a daily basis, because there are threats on the Plateau because of the neglect by the previous government in Plateau State to do what they ought to do. So I think the issue of trust is very important. The community must begin to build trust in our security agencies, because that's the only way we can go. Sometimes they wrongly blame them. If you look at the issue of Bokos critically, at the end of the day, the community had to apologize to the soldiers because they got it wrong in trying to victimize the soldiers when they ought to do what they did what they shouldn't do to the soldiers. We have these people. There's no how we can achieve the result of ridding our communities of banditry, ridding of criminality without working together with security agencies. If we are afraid of them, if we don't trust them, it's not going to work. I will still go back to hammer on our politicians. They are playing lip services to the issue of insecurity. Most of our politicians are playing lip services.
Why do you say so, though? Because you have been repeating this statement time and time again.
I'm in the corridor, so I know better. Monies meant for security votes are not being used. Monies meant given to local government chairmen are diverted to their personal pocket. Now, sometimes these soldiers are frustrated. They don't even have fuel to respond to attack. They don't even have logistics to respond to attack. So these are issues that we must address. Our politicians will look at these issues clearly. The funding from federal government cannot go around. It cannot really be enough, because we have a problem in Nigeria. Buhari cost us a lot of problems that we may not recover in the next 20 years. The country is in deficit. So the president can't get money to fund the entire security agencies, even though he's trying. So I think the local government, the state government must complement the issue of federal government in trying to address these issues. They must be deliberate. They must bring out all the money meant for security vote so that it can be used to work. If those monies are brought out and is being used to work, I tell you, we'll have a safer communities. I am assuring you of this. Monies meant for local government for security are not given to the security agencies. They are pocketed, they are seen as free money. How long are we going to continue? Wait for dying. My people are going through a lot in Nigeria. People are suffering in this country. You don't have you don't have a home. People who are already impoverished, people who are already hungry, are chased from their home on a daily basis for no fault of theirs. How long are we going to continue? How will they trust government? They won't trust government because government is not doing anything for them. As I speak to you now, the Dipugicho community in our local government have run out of their community. Where are they going to? Nowhere. They are living to a place where they consider to be safe, and yet it's not safe. Going to the house of a relative who are not even eating. How will the person house you? What is their offense? Just because they are Nigerians. Where is the place of local government? Where is the place of local government? They will tell you they don't have fun. If you don't have fun, resign. If you don't have fun, resign.
Well, that's the matter that we're still pushing local government autonomy. That's the conversation that's still on the front burner. So if they do not get that allocation, what do they do?
Sometimes it's not as bad as some of them think. Like I tell you, I'm in the corridor of these politicians. It's not as bad as some of them think. They get allocation, they get some level of allocation. The state governments are not actually, I'm not trying to absolve the state government. Yes, some state governments are very bad. But come to Benue, come to Plateau that I know I can speak for Benue and Plateau. The local government chairman get something. They get something substantial for security. I'm aware. We have the records where they get something for security. So they should use it properly. I think they should be audited. That security people should be audited. So that people can give account for money given to them for security agencies. The situation is really bad.
Okay, so if you have to blame politicians for for always paying lip service to the fight against insecurity and not bringing the required funds, what about the leadership of the military?
Well, like I said, they are not, the leaders of the military are not angels, but this is the best we have gotten in a very long while. From the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Staff, the entire service chiefs are the best we have gotten in a very long while. They are doing their best. Unfortunately, they met a very deteriorating security apparatus. They met a very deteriorating armed forces that they are trying to reshape. This is about the best we'll be getting in a very long while. They are doing their best. The Chief of Defense Staff is up and doing. He's doing both kinetic and non-kinetic issues to ensure that this security is getting better. Chief of Army Staff is doing same. Chief of Naval Staff, you can see that our mega data is getting safe by the day.
Right.
And the Northwest and the North are getting safe. So I commend the service chief. They are doing so well and should be commended instead.
Perhaps what Nigerians are saying is that their best can be better. We'll leave the conversation here now. Thank you, security expert Melvin Eje, for your time on the program. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.